Number 99, and the 7 of Sloan Henderson out of Springboro, Ohio. Bringing up the final row, our 21, Brandon Huff from the Palestine, Ohio, is the 97. Here, main event 21, let's take action. These 1250 cc Yamaha racing. Grab the great way to get involved in racing. And the young lady Sloan Henderson. On Jason Knox. Laps now in the record book. 6 remain. Knox. Trying nothing. Nothing for trying to squeeze underneath, but didn't get close enough down there in turn up 1. Now it's Anderson. Presented by Carter Lumber. Want to welcome all the contractors and the folks from Carter Lumber out here this afternoon. A beautiful day for racing here in beautiful suburban Obed. Good restart for Knuckles. Pulls about 3 car lengths off that restart. White flag will be displayed this time. 2-car breakaway at the front of the field. Knox now right up on his rear bumper. Safely through turns 3 and 4. Your winner, Brian Knuckles. Second, Jason Knox. Sloan Henderson, Dustin Sword, and Brandon Huff. Houston, she has a problem. Slow racing surface. Off turn 4. Tightly bunched. We're racing. Travis Braden with a narrow advantage off that second turn. He'll pull ahead into turn 3. Braden now about 4 or 5 car lengths over Tommy Klein. 2 laps complete this time. Top 4 pretty evenly spaced as they pull out ahead of Wendell Napper. Braden having it his way now as he continues to pull away from Klein. Bob Eaton and Zach Germain posted in 2nd through 4th position. Halfway home. Battles for that 5th spot back there where Napper has it, but the 17 of Greening, he wants it. And we got a spinner in turn 4. Caution is out. Denny Andrews loops it over in the... Braden easily pulls out about 6 or 8 car lengths on that start. White flag, 1 lap. Your winner, Travis Braden. Supporter of that young man's racing habit. He'll head back toward the pit area and prepare for the 25 lap feature coming your way here.
65 of Josh Smith, 20 laps of racing action for the Super Late Model Last Chance. We're off and racing. Good start for the number 88 car of Jamie Hunt, involved in a heat race crash last night, fell out of that race, trying to pick up a win in the last chance. Contact slightly between the top 2. Hunt, your leader. Sean Strobel working the outside lane. That is a battle for the 6th and a final transfer position. Strobel in the Triple X car. Pelletier looking for 7th. Gets a good run to the bottom in 3 and 4. And Paul Pelletier, the driver from Trenton, Michigan, has worked his way into the 7th spot, and Sean Strobel in trouble. So is Rick Sibla and John Strobel. And a caution flag is out. Bud Perry, a nice job in the 10 to avoid further contact with the 63 of Rick Sibla. Worked his way into the 7th spot, and John Strobel in trouble. So is Rick Sibla and John Strobel. Is Trenton, Michigan driver Paul Pelletier's car number 44. He looked good earlier today, and he might start to challenge Dennis Strickland, already looking to the inside. It'll be lap number 3 complete at the line with 17 to go for Jamie Hunt and Brett Jersey, your top 2. Here comes Pelletier. Again, a look to the inside. Pelletier's car rotating much better, and now the 90 of Strickland sideways all the way through 1 and 2. Pelletier now sideways as Strickland's able to close the door. Here comes Sean Strobel and John Crumrine. Strobel in the Triple X car has given up a position as he has gone to the outside lane a couple of different occasions trying to make a move toward the transfer positions, but the car won't stick in groove number 2. And again, Strickland having a hard time keeping his on the bottom of the track. It's going to open the door for Paul Pelletier and John Crumrine if he's not careful. Pelletier, a good season in the green number 44, but now he opens up a position for Crumrine, and the 244 is close call down in 3. Jamie Hunt, Brett Jersick, Donnie Renner, Josh Smith, Dino Long, and Dennis Strickland, the current top 6. Some smoke starting to come out of the number 7 car of Donnie Renner. 3rd place runner Donnie Renner with a little smoke. He had some problems earlier this weekend as well with a valve cover gasket, and it could be the same problem on the number 7. we are halfway, 10 in, 10 to go, and now caution out. Yellow flag out. Caution, Jersick, Donnie Renner, Josh Smith, Dino Long, and Dennis Strickland. Paul Pelletier will look to move into 6th, and problems for Sean Strobel in the Triple X. Right front going down on the Triple X car of Sean Strobel. And Strobel will pull into the infield, get off of the racetrack, and keep this race under green. 8 to go for Jamie Hunt. See, John Crumrine has moved into the 7th position, trying to race his way into the 100-lap feature. John Crumrine has passed Paul Pelletier and will look for 6th, trying to pick up that final transfer position with Dennis Strickland running straight ahead. Crumrine's car turning much better through the corners, especially over in 3 and 4, where Crumrine did look to the inside off of the final turn. Strickland just trying to hang on. Contact between the top two, Jamie Hunt and Brett Jersick. Last thing that those two need to do is cause themselves an accident and take themselves out of contention to make the 100-lap event. John Strobel will join his son Sean on the infield as they both fall out of the race. $18 laps this time at the line. 2 laps remaining for Jamie Hunt. Jersick's car quicker through 1 and 2. Middle of the turns, a strong point for Jersick. He's closed and actually made contact once or twice. White flag, final lap for Jamie Hunt. Into the 3rd turn, Jim Hersey, a slower car running along the bottom. Might make things a bit interesting, but he'll get out of the way. And Jamie Hunt, Jersick, Renner, Smith, Dino Long, and Dennis Strickland transferring. Not able to transfer into the feet of Bob Gaynor. So Jamie Hunt victorious in the 20-lap last chance. Jersick, as well as Renner, Josh Smith, Dino Long, and Dennis Strickland also transferring. Everyone else is on the speedway during this last chance will be on their way back to their pit stalls for the final time this weekend. Taking a look at who will be the points provisionals, unofficially the 3 of Doug Summers, the 18 of Don Mahaffey Jr., number 8 of Joel McKnight, and the 58 of Burgess White also making the main event, 21. Mike Smith in the Cantley Incorporated Eddie's Auto Body number 29 and the number 82. The Eddie's Auto Body Napa car of Randy Rogers come to green, and problems for the number 29 of Mike Smith as he drops off the pace and moves toward the inside of the speedway. See a little bit of smoke coming out of his car. Obviously did not get into the right gear. It jumped out of gear on him on the opening start. He stays in a transfer position, running 3rd with John McNutt 4th. 1 down, 11 to go. McNutt knows he needs to get back to the bottom and stay in that 4th spot. In trouble down in turn 1 and 2. They continue to hit, and eventually they will spin, but they keep on rolling. Caution, though, already out. Caution out for the drivers towards the back of the field after 1 lap had been completed. Jim Paul to look him over. And Randy Rogers, along with 3 cars right behind him, 29 again, having problems on the start. And that allows McNutt to look to the outside of Mike Smith down in turns 1 and 2. That might open the bottom, though, and Blankenship will try to move into the top 4. McNutt closes the door on him, and he'll follow Smith into 3. 2 down and 10 to go this time for Randy Rogers. Rogers, McElfresh, Smith, and McNutt. But McNutt, his hands full. The 48 car of Blankenship has closed and will look to move into the top 4. Smith to the outside of McElfresh for the second spot. Halfway this time, 6 laps in, 6 laps to go for Randy Rogers, Mike Smith, McElfresh, and John McNutt. Blankenship still trying to find his way by the number 35 car for a transfer position. He's looking to the bottom, gets down on the rumble bumps, goes back up the track. His car not handling quite to his liking, I'm sure, as he just tries to find a run on the number 35 of McNutt. 84 of Coleman, the 19 car of Hess, rubbing a little paint over in turn 2 as the 6 car follows them. Third, fourth, and fifth, bumper to bumper, and Blankenship again trying to make a run at John McNutt. Looks like Rogers, this is his race to lose right now with just 3 to go. McNutt in a dangerous position right now as he's sandwiched between 3rd and 5th. He's in the final transfer spot, would like to get around the 2X. However, if he tries to make a move, the 48 of Blankenship might make a move on him. 2 circuits remaining for Rogers. Blankenship to the outside lane. Can he get the run he needs on the final circuit to move into 4th? We're on the final lap. McNutt following McElfresh closely down in 1 and 2. Blankenship closing to the rear bumper, does not make contact. Contact as Coleman has spun the 19 of Hess around off of turn 4. Your winner, Randy Rogers. Smith 2nd, McElfresh 3rd, McNutt 4th. So the second place, number 29 of Mike Smith, the number 2 of McElfresh coming home 3rd, and 4th, the 35 of John McNutt. Those 4 cars transfer into today's 25-lap feature for the in today's starting field. Ready to go off of turn number 4, Rector and Campbell, bring them in. And all kinds of trouble for the 47 of McGrath. It's going to make it 4 wide on the back stretch, going to 3, and the 35 backs out. The 38 of Priest doesn't. 47 turns sideways. They keep on rolling. Now the 38 of Priest into the infield. He does miss both cones, keeps on racing. Cone moved a little closer to the edge of the track by the 86 of Lucas.
I don't care who you are, that was sweet.
Pretty nice move through the cones, huh? Your number 22 car, Kyle Rector, the leader. Johnny Campbell, the number 27, running second. Sean Priest in the number 38 being sent to the infield. Your race leader is Kyle Rector. Rector, Campbell, Pemberton, and Brian Beach, the 4 transfer cars at this point. Number 4 of Ralph Vinson running 5th. Denise Bartram in the 25 running 6th. Trying to make a move. She'll move into the 5th spot now on the front straightaway. Lucas is done in the 86X. And now, after making it past Bartram, is getting past herself by the number 4 car of Vincent. Rector up the track a little bit on the back stretch. Will be halfway this time. 6 laps in, 6 laps to go. Rector and Campbell to battle it out for the lead. in about his 4th year of racing. Rector racing for his 2nd year. And leading this race, but the car pushes badly off of turn 4, opens the door up for Johnny Campbell. Rector goes back down the track. 2nd place car of Campbell checks up a bit going into 1, as well as Pemberton in the 00. Beach running 4th. Top 4, if they stay right where they are right now, they'll be in plenty of good shape because they've got plenty of distance between themselves and the number 4 car of Ralph Vincent. Three-car breakaway, and then all by himself, the final transfer car of Brian Beach. Ten in, 2 to go at the line for the New Philadelphia, Ohio driver, Kyle Rector. Car pushing badly off of the turns. Be pretty quick if he'd get the thing to turn. Of turn number 4, the 22 car of Kyle Rector coming to the checkered will pick up the victory. Johnny Campbell 2nd. Pemberton comes across 3rd. And Brian Beach, the final transfer car, the number 79. Then it's Vincent, the 35 of Smith, 25 of Bartram, 47 of McGrath. The number 0 crosses the stripe. He was 3rd. 79 of Beach also making the event, so congratulations to those 4 drivers. They'll be starting in the final 4 rows along the outside lane in today's feature.
Legend Car feature event. Thanks for joining us here. The Germain Toyota Pace Truck off the track on the backstretch, and we're ready for action. 25 laps. With the advantage through turns 1 and 2, it's the 21 car, Brandon Huff. Following him around on the outside, Brian Knuckles in car 59. Battle heats up for 3rd position. The 97 currently posted in 3rd is Evan Finley, and we had trouble on the backstretch. Caution is out. Caution, 1 lap complete. Speedway.com. Ready to get back underway. 1 lap down, 24 remain. Tight action at the front of the field, as well as for 3rd spot. Now Dustin Swart up to 3rd. Knuckles looking for a way around your race leader. Swart and the 30 of Knox will try to close. Good run for young Zach Germain. He is up to 5th spot. Germain is 5th. Knuckles trying to duck underneath down the backstretch. Can't make that work in turn 3, but back in turn 4. Dustin Swart and Knox now closing on your lead duo. Knuckles now getting pressure once again from the 21 of Brandon Huff. Sword trying to close. Lap traffic straight ahead for your leaders. Knox now off the pace a little bit, it appears. Travis Braden started 9th. He's up to 5th spot. Pressuring Knox in turn 4. And Braden up into that top 4. Halfway, this time by the start-finish line. Halfway, more lap traffic straight ahead for Brian Knuckles. Tiptoeing around the lappers. Laps remain, 10 to go. Battle in turn 3 to the inside. The 21 of Brandon Huff. Side by side, down the front stretch they go. Knuckles drops back in line. He'll go after Huff down the back straightaway. Huff now up off the bottom. And a fender. Dustin Sword, Travis Braden from 9th spot up into the top 4, and Jason Knox, your top 5, as we get ready to run this one out. Braden pressuring Sword for 3rd spot. Still a good battle at the front as well. And no caution. Tough break, we got trouble as the car of Travis Braden. Braden off the pace. Smoke emanating from that car. Four laps now remain. A 3-car battle down the backstretch. Up now sideways in turn 3. Here comes Sword. Knuckles now about 5-6 car lengths. Sword will try to close in turns 3 and 4. Cars about equally matched, it would appear. White flag, 1 to go. Knuckles now about 3 or 4 more car lengths than he had 1 lap ago. He'll battle off turn 4. And the winner, Brian Knuckles. Dustin Sword runs second. Huff third. Jason Knox and Evan Finley, your top 5. We're headed down trackside.
Pulling into the front straightaway in victory lane. At the finish line, yet another feature win. At his home track, Brian Knuckles picking up the victory. Didn't come easy this afternoon. The 21 car challenging, in fact, taking the lead momentarily. Let's hear it from your winner, Brian Knuckles. Brian, congratulations. Good run for the number 59. Always one of the favorites to win here. The car, the setup, very good. You get around Columbus Motor Speedway well. The car was good. It seemed like at the beginning of the race, the 21 car then got by there for a brief moment. Kind of a scary moment for the 59.
Yeah, it was. It was real close. He and I were about the same speed and made for a heck of a race. It was a good time. I want to thank my family, my grandparents, my dad, mom, and my wife, Kara, for all their support. And I want to also thank Clear One Racing Products.
Let's hear it again for your winner of the Legend Car feature, Brian Knuckles. We'll be moving into our main event. 21, presented by Carter Lumber, is coming up next here at Columbus Motor Speedway. Starters that made their way through the last chance race, as well as the starters, the final 4 cars that made their way through the points provisionals joining our field. More of the last chance race competitors come out. This is the 21st year for the main event. At the back of the field in position number 26, as I introduce to you each and every one of the starters, give them a nice round of applause for joining us for main event 21. Starting in position number 26, came into this event 10th place in main event racing series points. The Fast Racing RNA Express Exhaust Works B-Line Alignment Service car number 58 from Columbus, Ohio. Put your hands together for veteran Burgess White. Starting 25th, 9th in points coming into the event. The A1 Auto and Spring, Sarchione Quality Used Cars, Joel's Garage and Dillon Race Cars. Car number 8 from Alliance, Ohio, Joel McKnight. Starting 24th, 7th in points coming in. Car number 18, Affordable Auto Parts, Fox Heating and Air, Deberg Auto Body, Hangar 18 Race Cars as sponsors for Dayton, Ohio driver Don Mahaffey Jr. In the 23rd starting position, picked up his first career main event racing series victory. The season opener this season at Midvale Speedway came in 4th in points. The Namath Performance, Carpenter's Asphalt Sealer, JC Cycles, No Limits Performance, and Tom and Sharon Rutledge sponsored 3. Doylestown driver Doug Summers. In the 22nd starting position, from Carlton, Michigan, making his first start at Columbus Motor Speedway, the complete battery source, Auto Sport Development, and JT Racing. Entry from Carlton, Michigan, Dennis Strickland. In the 21st starting position, 12th in main event racing series points. One career win came at Midvale Speedway several years ago. In main event racing series action, he's sponsored by Downtown Petroleum, Long Oil, and B&E Well Treating. From Waynesburg, Ohio, Dino Long. Starting 20th, Fast Racing Engines, Howe Enterprises, Ice Oil Company, car number 65. One career main event racing series start. He ended it with a victory at Shady Bowl Speedway earlier this season. Quincy, Ohio's Josh Smith. Starting 19th, third in the final points this season here at Columbus Motor Speedway in the late model division. He was the 1992 winner of the main event here at Columbus. The Race Shop, Humphreys Engine Service, Bargain Bookstore, Renner's Towing Trailer with sponsored entry of Columbus's Donnie Renner. 18th on today's starting grid. One career main event racing series victory came just a couple races ago at Sandusky Speedway, the Baker Performance Parts, Lenny's Collision, Jersey Motorsports. Entry from Doylestown, Ohio, car number 89, Brett Jersick. Starting 17th, 8th in the points here at Columbus Motor Speedway this season, the Junkyard Restaurant, Shope's Tire Service, car from Asheville, Ohio, Jamie Hunt. Starting 16th in the Race Shop, Timber Valley Off-Road, Precision Wall Systems, car number 2 from Germantown, Ohio, Kyle Jones. This next driver starts in the 15th position. Came into the event third place in points, 4 career main event racing series victories for the R&D Auto Repair, Ritzman Muffler, JW Tool, Akron Auto and Truck Tires, Straight Line Drywall, and Baker Performance car from Barberton, Ohio, Don Harvey Jr. Starting 14th, the 1999 winner of this event here at Columbus Motor Speedway. The Baker Engineered Racing Engines Port City Race Car sponsored car number 71 from Fruitport, Michigan, John Grega. Starting 13th, a 3-time main event racing series point champion, 5th in points coming in, leads the list with 17 career main event victories. The 2003 winner of the main event at Mansfield Motorsports Speedway, the Miller Lite Esber Beverage car number 7 from Canton, Ohio, Rich Rohr. In the 12th starting position, 8th place in points coming in, another 3-time main event racing series point champion, 8 career main event racing series victories, and he won the main event in 2000. Fast Racing, Ice Oil Company, Howe Racing, the sponsors for the Iceman from Seville, Ohio, Tim Ice. 11th on our starting grid. Comes in as your point leader and a 3-time main event racing series point champion. 8 career main event racing series victories for the Carter Lumber, Lenny's Collision, car number 59 of Doylestown's Gary Whipke. On to your top 10 starters and your top 10 qualifiers from the weekend. Setting a new track record, he got in the 12-second bracket yesterday. The TA Gentry Supply, Tailored Homes, Waste Management, Weller Truck Parts, and Packaging Logic entry. He was also the top qualifier this year at Kalamazoo for the Clash. From Berrien Springs, Michigan, Steve Needles. Starting 9th, a former ASA Touring Series frontrunner, the R. Andrews Pallet Company, Image Effects sponsored number 12 from Columbus, Ohio, Robbie Pyle. In the 8th starting position, the 1996 winner of this event, 2 career main event racing series victories, the Port City Race Cars 101 of Hastings, Michigan driver Joe Bush. Starting 7th, he comes into this event second in points, just 7 behind Gary Whipke for the championship in this final event. The Medina Mountain Motors, Heavenly Ham, Southeast Metals, Finish Line Fabricating Race Cars, number 28 from Brook Park, Ohio, Jimmy Carter. Starting 6th, the 1998 winner of the event here at Columbus Motor Speedway, the Port City Race Cars, Boyne Machine, car number 47 from Battle Creek, Michigan, Fred Campbell. Starting 5th, the winner of the Glass City race at Toledo Speedway last weekend, the Royal Truck and Trailer, car number 71 from Canton, Michigan, Harold Fair Jr. To the outside of row number 2. He picked up a 4th place finish in the points at Angola Motor Speedway Super Late Model Division this season. Also tours with CRA and Main Event from Manufactured Homes Incorporated. Finish Line Fabrication, car number 10 from Edgerton, Ohio, Jack Landis. Starting 3rd on the inside of row number 2, one of the drivers from Michigan joining us this weekend, I believe his first start at Columbus Motor Speedway will come this afternoon. The Perfect Circle Race Cars, Joe's Auto Parts, GT Products, car 222 from Holland, Michigan, Mike Bursley. Your front row starters for Main Event 21, presented by Carter Lumber, the Runninger Advanced Hydraulic, Captain Lou's Bar and Grill, and Advanced Pour Walls. Car number 14, 9th in the Kalamazoo points this season for Lawton, Michigan driver Trent Hellinga. Your pole sitter, a familiar face here at the Third Mile Speed Plant. 5 wins this season in the late model division. He was the 2008 Columbus Motor Speedway point champion. Architect Glass Starjet, the sponsors for Columbus driver Donnie Zero Hill. At this time, I will turn things over to Larry Heide from Mogadore, Ohio, who will give the most famous words in racing to get things started this afternoon. Larry?
Gentlemen, start your engines!
Racing action set to begin at Columbus Motor Speedway for Main Event 21, presented by Carter Lumber.
Buddy, you're a boy, make a big noise, playing in the street, gonna be a big man someday. You got mud on your face, you big disgrace, kicking your can all over the place, singing, we will rock you. Buddy, you're a young man, shining in the street, gonna take on the world.
By Carter Lumber, set to begin in just a couple of circuits at Columbus Motor Speedway, where we see our first repeat winner in series history on the 21st year of racing. Many of those coming right here at the Third Mile Speed Plant. A couple going at Sandusky Speedway, as well as one at Mansfield Motorsports Speedway. Series victory, it would be a big one in the actual main event. He finished in the top 5 last season in the 100 lap event brought to you by Carter Lumber. He looks to even better that this afternoon. Trent Hellinga in car number 14 making his first Columbus start on the outside. Mike Bursley doing the same in the 222. Jack Landis, he's turned a lot of laps here at Columbus. We're off, and we are green flag racing in turn number 4 for 100 laps. Down the back straightaway, cars bobbling a bit. Actually, Steve Needles' top qualifier may have scraped the outside retaining wall in the backstretch, kicked up some dust. Needles in the 14 trying to make his move, and that Gary Whipke points leader. He got sideways in 1 and 2. Fred Campbell trying to move up in the outside lane toward the front of the field. Your leader, Donnie Zero Hill. Fred Campbell dropped back behind the number 71 car of John Make It Harold Fair Jr. Tim Ice, Rich Rohr battle back in the field. 2 of the 3-time Main Event Racing Series point champions, and they've each picked up 1 career main event win, 1 at Mansfield for Rohr, 1 at Columbus for Ice. John Grega also moving up. Came through a heat race last night to transfer. Donnie Zero Hill all by himself. Trent Hellinga second. Jack Landis third. Bursley looking to the inside and caution out. We've got a caution for the number 65 car. Now Jimmy Carter gets turned into the infield. Jimmy Carter in the number 28 car gets turned sideways. We did see the number 47 of Campbell and the number 14 of Needles trying the outside lane before the caution. We're back to green, 4 in, 96 to go for Donnie Hill. Robbie Pyle has spun in turns 1 and 2. Oh, and a hard crash for Jamie Hunt in the 88 as he backs right into him. Number 12 car of Robbie Pyle spinning by himself down in turn 1 and then collecting the 88 of Jamie Hunt and the number 2 car of Kyle Jones. Bad. Donnie Zero Hill off of turn number 4 to go green, leader of the first 6 circuits. Back to green we go after a couple of cautions. Hill again pulling away from Trent Hellinga in the number 14 car. The first time the race to try to make a move during this green flag run. Still single file, 7 laps in. Looks like Jimmy Carter is going to have a challenge from top qualifier Steve Needles. To the outside goes Needles in 3 and 4. Needles not finding that outside groove to his liking. A battle for second. Jack Landis on Trent Hellinga. Hellinga giving Landis plenty of room. Landis checked up though. Hellinga having a push on that car. Also Rich Rohr and Gary Whipke in a battle. Points leader Gary Whipke having a challenge from Rich Rohr. Trying that outside lane. Still no one finding that to their liking as Steve Needles will continue to try out there and trouble on the backstretch. Car of Don Harvey Jr. third in points coming in. Problems for him on the backstretch. Kyle Jones in the 2. Joel McKnight in the 8 also caught up in the mishap. Laps remaining. Hill, Hellinga, Landis, Fair, and Campbell, the top 5. Joe Bush 6th, Jimmy Carter 7th, Steve Needles 8th, Gary Whipke 9th, Rich Rohr 10th, back to green. Side-by-side battle for the second spot. Jack Landis from Edgerton, Ohio, ready to make his move and does. He finished 4th at Angola in the Super Late Model points this season. Also has had some good runs with the CRA Super Series. And now running in the main event racing series here this afternoon. Hellinga about to be freight trained. If he slips off the bottom again, Fair will get by, as well as Campbell, Bush, Carter, and Needles. Hellinga definitely in a world of trouble. The driver from Lawton, Michigan. Needles starting to make his move. Needles drop back in line behind Carter. He'll be able to get by the 14 car of Hellinga here in a little while. 101 car. Joe Bush making his move on Hellinga. Kyle Jones in the number 2 is off the pace, riding around. Jimmy Carter next to pick up a spot. Jimmy Carter, 1 spot. Further to the front, Steve Needles. And Rich Rohr in the number 7 car. Rohr in the number 7 car is spun coming off of turn 2. So caution out for the number 7 car of Rich Rohr. He was running in front of the number 71 of John Grega. Of hurt, and a driver, the number 14, Trent Hellinga. Gary Whipke 10th, John Grega. Won't take long though for that 14. 18 complete, 82 to go. Donnie Hill has them covered so far. We're going to green off of 4. Problem for the number 28 car. Problem for the number 28 of Jimmy Carter. Now Gary Whipke is right behind him, and Gary Whipke right behind Jimmy Carter. Caution out, a yellow flag out, as the number 2 car, number 2 of Kyle Jones, gets into the number 8 car of Joel McKnight down in turn 3. $81 to go. Circuits to the finish for the Architect Glass Zero. working to the inside of Joe Bush. His top qualifier, Steve Needles. Bush trying to close the door on Needles and will. Needles is working his way toward the front. He's trying the outside lane now, moving to the high side. And back in line goes Steve Needles, your top qualifier. Fred Campbell for third. Kyle Jones picking up a spot on the number 7 car of Roar deep in the field as they continue to battle, and Donnie Hill continues to lead. Number 8 car of Alliance Ohio driver Joel McKnight, the last car on the lead lap, will be in the grasp of Donnie Hill soon. Jack Landis pretty strong in the number 10 car as he's just a car length or two behind. Moving over to the inside for Donnie Hill, and Jack Landis are able to scoot by to the outside lane. Harold Fair Jr., Freddie Campbell, and the 101 of Joe Bush, your top 5. Now Robbie Pyle, Dennis Strickland, Jamie Hunt, Brett Jersick, and Rich Rohr locked in a battle. Brett Jersick caught in the outside lane. Two-car breakaway, and then back to the number 71 car of Harold Fair Jr. John Grega, former winner of the number 71, starts to challenge point leader Gary Whipke. Whipke would win by 2 points if we ended like they are right now. Former ASA competitor Robbie Pyle, car number 12, outside lane, picking up a spot, the number 18 car of Don Mahaffey Jr. And now Donnie Renner and Joel McKnight going into the infield. Problems on the backstretch. Caution out the number 7 car of Donnie Renner running on the lead lap. Renner running on the lead lap, and Joel McKnight, the number 8 car, down one circuit. Spinning on the backstretch, entering turn, 6 laps remaining. '89 of Brett Jersick, winner at Sandusky. Polling pit side, he had faded. Bad break for Donnie Renner. The green off of turn number 4. We have 66 remaining in main event 21. Sliding into the infield. Caution flag is out. 65 car. Josh Smith having Rich Rohr on the inside of him, and Smith spinning off of turn number 2. 47, Fred Campbell. "36 laps in, 64 to go. We're back to green." Fred Campbell trying to hang on to a car that might have a right rear tire go flat. Fred Campbell trying to hang on to fourth, has Joe Bush. In the fifth spot, Robbie Pyle. Robbie Pyle in the number 12, moving around the outside of the number 3 car of Doug Summers. And there goes Campbell, losing it coming off of turn 2. Caution flag out, yellow out, as the number 47 car of Fred Campbell cutting a right rear tire.
They don't call it a flat, they call it a rapid deflation of that Hoosier Racing tire. One of our former winners in the racing this season, out of action currently. The only driver towards the front of the field that is a former repeat winner now, or a former winner trying to repeat the 101 car of Joe Bush. He is fourth. Carter running 6th. Gary Whiskey right now in a good spot.
See Steve Needles in the 14 car going back to the outside of the 101 of Joe Bush for the 4th position. Also Rich Rohr to the inside of Dennis Strickland back in the field. Continues to move forward. Good side-by-side action back in the field between Doug Summers, Dennis Strickland, and Rich Rohr. Fred Campbell also moving his way back up. And here comes Needles again. If he can get to 71 car, he can get to 71 car of Fair to hold up Bush enough, he's going to be able to get around them both. And Dennis Strickland off the pace in the 90 car. Oh, Campbell hard into him. Fred Campbell's day will come to an end most likely now as he slams into the 90 car of Strickland. Strickland just came to almost a dead stop on the front straightaway, and Campbell with nowhere to go. Rohr was able to avoid just barely in the 7. I think the 90 car of Dennis Strickland blowing a motor, engine locking up on the front stretch, and came to almost a dead stop in front of oncoming traffic. Campbell, a bad break for him as his bad luck continues in this race. See Gary Whipke and Jimmy Carter side by side in 3 and 4 talking about their possible championship battle going on. Here comes Donnie Hill. 44 laps complete. He's led the whole way so far, and we're back to green. And Steve Needles looking to pick up the 4th spot. Needles able to get by the 101 of Joe Bush. Moves Steve Needles up to 4th. And we've got caution for Joel McKnight in the 8 car. Caution out for Joel McKnight. Robbie Pyle, Trent Hellinga, and back up all the way through the front of the field from mid-pack. We have the 0 of Donnie Hill out front, and Needles going to the outside of Joe Bush this time on a restart. Needles trying the 2nd groove and even in the 3rd groove on the straightaway portions of the track, and Needles looking good outside lane. Here comes Berrien Springs, Michigan driver Steve Needles closing in on the halfway mark. Makes his move look easy on Joe Bush, and he'll make it look easy on Harold Fair Jr. Needles up to 3rd. Joe Bush off the pace. Former winner Joe Bush dropping back behind Jimmy Carter, and now Jimmy Carter would be the champion. Halfway this time, 50 laps in, 50 laps to go, $100 bonus going to the 0 of Donnie Hill, courtesy of Sunoco Race Fuels. Battle for 2nd will begin shortly. Steve Needles has caught Jack Landis. And now Joe Bush trying to get back around Jimmy Carter for position. Needles looking high on Landis. Really working way high as the car pushes up the track. Donnie Hill going around Joel McKnight, and now Jimmy Carter and Joe Bush get together, caution out. Jimmy Carter and Joe Bush. And 44 laps remaining. Steve Needles blew by the 71 of Harold Fair Jr. and the 101 of Joe Bush like they were sitting still. He then caught the 10 car of Landis, was 3/10 quicker per lap than the 0 of Donnie Hill. But once he caught Landis, he couldn't get the run at the right part of the track to get around the 10 of Landis. We'll see if he does after the restart, give a chance for the tires to cool after heating those up a bit. He'll need to make up some big moves and some big ground on the racetrack, or Gary Whipke in the 59 will have to have some bad luck and fall through the field. Donnie Hill, Jack Landis, Steve Needles, Harold Fair Jr., Gary Whipke, the top 5 coming to green off of turn 4. 44 to go. Needles looking to the outside of Jack Landis for position. Needles on the high side. Jack Landis on the bottom, racing down the backstretch into the third turn. Needles so good, middle of the corner, just eats the cars alive and takes over the second spot. Back in the field, Kyle Jones, Dino Long locked in a battle. Roar had just got by Long, so did Kyle Jones as they continue their battle from the back of the field. Robbie Pyle in the number 12 car, racing with a 65 of Tim Ice. And up front, Steve Needles starts to challenge the race leader, Donnie Hill. His first challenge coming with 60 laps in and 40 to go. Donnie Hill has his hands full for the first time in the race. Needles, only his second time ever at Columbus Motor Speedway, trying to figure out the racetrack and where to make the move on Donnie Hill. John Grega ready to move into the top 5. He challenges points leader Gary Whipke. Got trouble. Points leader Gary Whipke is spun. Cars coming quickly into 3. Everyone able to get checked up in time. 71 of John Grega and 59 of Gary Whipke. Get together. Grega running 6th, Whipke running 5th. He does have a tire rub on the right front of his car. Grega, tire rub on the right front. We'll see if he gets the fender pulled. He will pull pit side to possibly pull that fender. He had to go to the back early in last year's race and came all the way through to pick up a top 5. Car of Don Mahaffey Jr. gets spun over in the 4th corner. Caution flag is again out. Caution as he and Brett Jersick get together out of 4. Coming to green, Donnie Hill, Steve Needles. Hill getting the start over in 3, but the middle of the corner, Needles closes right back to the rear bumper, and they're off and racing again. Needles using that second groove. Robbie Pyle and Tim Ice battle for position as well as Needles goes to the high side of Donnie Hill for the lead. A pretty good run down the front stretch. Here comes Steve Needles. Needles draws alongside, door to door, off of the second turn. Donnie Hill gets sideways. That helps Needles get out front. New leader from the 10th position, Steve Needles. Needles can put it on cruise control now as he's out front from the 10th starting position. Use a methodical approach over the first 65 laps to get to the front. Trouble for Joel McKnight in the number 8 car. Joel McKnight in the number 8. He's struggling like a duck in the desert this afternoon. Your leader, Steve Needles. 7 car, Rich Rohr picking up the spot, getting by the 14 of Hellinga, and now Hellinga drawing some contact from Kyle Jones. Hellinga started up front in this race, and he's struggled all afternoon long to hang on to his race car. Joe Bush gets by and now closes the door on Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter to the rear of Trent Hellinga. Trouble for the number 3 car of Doug Summers as he spins in 4. Number pull that cone out from behind his right front tire so he can continue. And the Columbus Motor Speedway chief starter Jim Paul down on the track trying to pry that out. He does, and Doug Summers will be able to continue in the number 3. Two cars involved in the mishap, the 3 car of Summers, 65 car of Smith, stopping over in the second corner. One more race yet to go this afternoon, the 25-lapper for the compact division. 68 in, 32 to go. Steve Needles try to check out on the rest of the field, turn 4, they're back to green. Caution out, yellow coming out for the number 88 car of Jamie Hunt, a tire going down on his ride. Something busting on the number 88 car. Ready for green off of 4, Needles cleaning off the tires, ready to go back to green. He and Hill bring him in. 28 of Jimmy Carter trying to jump. Joe Bush trying to run to the outside of Rich Rohr back in the middle of the field. And Joe Bush, winner of a main event several years ago, tries to make a run but could not make it happen. Slid up in turns 1 and 2, drops back down in front of Kyle Jones. And now Jimmy Carter are running Kyle Jones for position, trying to work closer to the 59 of Whipke. Don Mahaffey Jr. to the infield. He's done. And off of turn 2, Kyle Jones and Jimmy Carter get together. Jones will hang on to the spot. Carter's been all over Kyle Jones the last couple of laps. John Grega from the back of the field, working the outside lane. Josh Smith in a 65, Dino Long in the 80. Steve Needles all by himself. The racing comes deeper in the field. Joe Bush working that second groove, and there goes Needles. Gets around Joel McKnight. Joe Bush to the outside of Rich Rohr in 3 and 4. And Jimmy Carter has passed Kyle Jones now after a several lap battle. And Joe Bush working around Rohr for a position in the top 10. He'll work on the number 12 car of Robbie Pyle now. Joe Bush on the move. Two Port City cars, the 101 of Joe Bush and the 71 of John Grega working the outside lane. Bush much further ahead, trying to get up into the top 5, just 2 spots out. Grega to the outside of Tim Ice for the 6th position. John Grega still working back in the field. Joe Bush's car very good with 20 laps to go for the driver of the 101. And Bush has cleared the 65 of ice. Joe Bush to the high side of Gary Whipke. Whipke gives him plenty of room. Jimmy Carter closing the gap on Gary Whipke. Josh Smith, John Grega, and Dino Long locked in a battle. Here's the number 8 car of Joe McKnight right in front of him. Off of 4, a gaggle of cars running the outside lane will work around the 65 of Josh Smith. Steve Needles. Steve Needles about to lap John Grega. To the outside he goes. Grega, of course, admitted fault in an earlier caution. That's why he was at the tail. Your leader, Steve Needles. Second place, Donnie Renner by himself. So is the number 10 of Jack Landis, the 71 of Harold Fair Jr., and the 101 of Joe Bush. 6th is Gary Whipke. 7th, Tim Ice. 8th, Robbie Pyle. 9th, Jimmy Carter. 10th, Rich Rohr. 11th, Kyle Jones. 12th, final car on the lead lap in 12th is Trent Hellinga. He moves over for Steve Needles. 11 cars on the lead lap now. Final car on the lead lap is Kyle Jones. Jimmy Carter has closed now on the number 65 of Tim Ice. He's got around Robbie Pyle. He looks to the outside of Tim Ice. He's racing for a championship with about 10 laps to go. He's going to need to pick up a couple more spots. Cars spread all the way around Columbus Motor Speedway, closing in on the final stages. Carter racing with Tim Ice. Jimmy Carter, Tim Ice battle back in the field. Whipke still hanging on to 6th in the points championship right now. John Grega working, Joe Bush working around some slower traffic. Josh Smith in the 65. 10 cars on the lead lap. Kyle Jones, first car down the circuit in the number 2. Steve Needles has checked out. 5 laps remaining that time for Steve Needles. Four to go for Needles. Three laps remaining. Donnie Hill able to work by some slower traffic. He's still second. Third place, the 10 of Jack Landis. Fourth, the 101 of Joe Bush. Fifth. Fourth place, actually, the 71 of Fair, as he's between the 10 car of Landis and the 101 of Bush. Jimmy Carter sideways. He has closed on Gary Whipke, but he's going to need to pass 2 more cars to make it happen. Final circuit for Berrien Springs, Michigan driver Steve Needles, and Jimmy Carter has spun. Carter has spun off at 2. Caution flag out. Yellow flag displayed for the number 28 car of Jimmy Carter. Steve Needles, he was ready for green, but not quite yet, as they want to make sure and get the top 10 in the correct order. Went green, or at least he thought he was going green there a lap ago. And we're coming into turn number 4. They are off and racing. 2 circuits. Jimmy Carter in the 28 just looks like he's kind of hanging on to his car at this point. White flag, 1 more lap to go for Steve Needle. Checkered flag in the air from Berrien Springs, Michigan. Your winner, Steve Needles. A little burnout down the front stretch on his victory lap. Donnie Hill second. Third place to Jack Landis. Fourth to Fair. Fifth to Bush. Sixth to Whipke. Seventh to Ice. Eighth to Pyle. Ninth to... We do have 1 remaining race yet to go. The compact 25-lapper for the field of compact says Steve Needles will turn it around. His first career main event racing series victory. And he's able to safely make it through up in turn number 4 around the Toyota truck. 21 years now without a repeat winner. Steve Needles makes it winner number 21. Not a surprise to a lot of people. He was bad fast all weekend long. Second place last year, came up just short to his now teammate Terry Seneker. Seneker not here this year, broke his foot a couple of weeks ago and could not race this weekend. Latier Gentry Supply, Weller Truck Parts, Tailored Homes, Waste Management, car number 14. The driver from Berrien Springs, Michigan. Was a top qualifier at the Kalamazoo Clash earlier this year. Fell out of the event, had some bad luck there. He's had a lot of bad luck this season. Bad luck ends this weekend. Fast qualifier, new track record into the 12-second bracket yesterday. Only driver in the 12s, and now event victory. Taking over around 60 laps into the event. Says he needs some water.
Get the video guy out of the way.
Replenishing with a bottle of water and now ready to climb out. Moves the Hans device. Let's hear it for your winner, Steve Needles. Steve being congratulated in victory lane.
Great job, buddy.
Steve, congratulations. Last year came up just a little short. Just a little bit short. Second place run last year. Terry Seneker able to get you. Car was good. It was way better this year, though. Through the middle of the turns, nobody had anything for the 14.
Man, this thing was awesome. It's a perfect circle car built by Lee Anderson, and man, that guy knew what he was doing. I can't say enough about him. I learned a ton from that guy, and let me tell you, this car was awesome. I don't think it could have gotten any better.
A couple times you got runs in the outside lane early in the race, and it just didn't have it. Did you have to wait till the rest of the field slowed down a bit?
Yeah, I kind of had to wait for them to slow down. My car was so tight up on the outside, I couldn't really get a good run off. But eventually, there later in the race, once the guys started to get use their tires up, I got a pretty good run, and the car started turning a little bit better, and made a few adjustments, and it was a lot better.
You've had a lot of bad luck this season. That bad luck comes to an end this weekend. I'm sure you're happy.
Absolutely. I got a lot of sponsors to thank. I got to thank my car owners, especially Terry and Carolyn Gentry. I couldn't ask for a better group of people, especially my crew guys, my dad, my mom, Peter Huff. They're awesome. I got to thank Weller Truck Parts, Tailored Homes, Waste Management, Packaging Logic, and special thanks to Jack Drosick from Baker Engineering. He built us a heck of a motor for this race, and he was down there working on it before this thing, making sure everything was ready to go, and really appreciate that.
Let's hear it again. Steve Needles, the winner of Main Event 21, presented by Carter Lumber. Compact 25 up next.
Get that video guy out of the way so everybody can see down there Steve Needles, and we'll be ready to get some photos
Yeah. Keep in touch. Yeah,
Top 10 rundown from that contest. Of course, Steve Needle's your winner. Donnie Hill comes home in second spot. Third to Jack Landis. Then it was Harold Fair Jr. in the fourth position. Fifth to Joe Bush.
Well, he said she changed the tires. You get in, right? You get us all in. Oh, yeah. We don't care. I was getting sick to my stomach. I drove it back around for you, see if I can't figure it out. It's all right. This is nice. One more. Number one, Steve. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Chuck Barrett, main event flagman extraordinaire. Good race, what?
What a race.
Nice race. Another different winner.
21 different ones.
You weren't out yet, Chuck?
Not yet.
Now, as McKay was our top qualifier in the 97, we've got the number 53 of Ron McManus Jr. Driving the 03 is Earl Scranton. Car number 7 is Tom Cawley. The number 32 is Brian Whitnall. The number 5 car of Max McCartney. Number 33, driven by Eddie Smith. Car number 31 off of turn 4, Robbie Smith and Donnie Nash in the number 69 come to green. We're ready for 25 laps of green flag racing. Jason Dennis goes up the banking. He started in the 8th spot. He and Darrell McKay in the 97 get together off of the second corner, keep on rolling. Don Rufner Jr. in the 36, trying Columbus Motor Speedway's second lane out, little bit sideways in 3 and 4. Robbie Smith hanging on to it. He's leading. Contact now from Nash. 3 wide for second. Rufner up into the second spot. Nash fighting back. Now Rufner gets contact from Robinson. Rufner will steer out of it. Cars piling up in turn number 4, but they keep on rolling. 5 wide on the front stretch into the first corner. Through the infield goes Cawley in the 7. The 7 of Cawley picks up a couple of spots. 37 of Mike Gills off the pace. They keep racing. Lap number 3 complete at the line. Gills off the pace in the 37 on the backstretch. Will he be able to get to the infield? Hopefully so. And he will over in 3 and 4. Your leader, car number 31, Robbie Smith. Donnie Nash second. The 99 of Michael Robinson third. Don Rufner Jr. fourth, but maybe not for long. He was all kinds of sideways in 3 and 4. And here comes the number 70 car of Jason Dennis. He runs fifth. Ron McManus Jr. up to the 6th spot. 7th, the 22 of Rob Smith. 8th, the 12 of David Lucas. 9th, the 97 of McKay. And 10th, the number 7 of Tom Cawley. Jason Dennis to the inside of Rufner for the 4th position. I think it made some contact, and Rufner was way up the track entering that first turn. And Dennis continues to take him up the banking on the backstretch. That allows the number 53 car of McManus to the inside. He moves into 5th. And a battle for the lead has begun. 69, Donnie Nash to the inside, and the battle for the lead has come to an end with Donnie Nash taking over the top spot. Smith maybe applying the bumper in 3 and 4. Number 12 car of David Lucas racing with the 22 of Rob Smith, and also McManus has moved into 5th. He's on the outside lane, pushes way up the track, and here comes Rufner. Problems for the 44 of Les Stevenson. McManus, the 22 of Smith, and the 36 of Rufner in a battle. It will be 10 laps in this time by. 10 laps in, 15 to go for Donnie Nash. Mason Dennis in the third spot. Robinson back to fourth. 11 in, 14 to go this time for Nash and Smith, who have a little bit of a breakaway over Dennis, who's a third. Seth Rager back in the field, competes with a 33 of Eddie Smith, and Rager picks up a spot. Pretty clean race to this point. Black flag coming out for one of our competitors back in the field, either the 35 of McNutt or the 27 car of Campbell. Yeah, fluid coming out of the number 27 of Johnny Campbell. That's why he's receiving the black flag. We are halfway. 13 laps in, 12 laps to go for Donnie Nash. I think Dennis is starting to reel in the top two a little bit. For the fifth position, McManus and Rufner. Point champion Darrell McKay in the number 97. And now David Lucas and Ron McManus, a heated battle for the sixth spot. Lucas clips McManus, and McManus is unhappy in the 53. And now Lucas hits him going into the corner and takes himself out. He gets sideways, down onto the rumble bumps he goes. To the outside comes Rob Smith in the 22. David Lucas costing himself a position and a lot of ground on the racetrack. Laps in, 7 laps to go for the 31 of Robbie Smith. And the 69 of Donnie Nash, who is just a few car lengths ahead of him. Nash able to clear the 35 of John McNutt down in 3. 31 car of Smith will do the same. And Dennis has caught Smith for second. Meanwhile, Nash pulling away. Off of turn number 4, Jim Paul with a signal. 5 laps remaining for Donnie Nash. Nash finished third in the Columbus Motor Speedway compact point standings. Made it into the top 10 via the qualifying run he turned yesterday. Nash in the 69 leads. Smith runs second. Dennis is third. Robinson fourth. Fifth is Rufner. Sixth is McManus. Seventh is Lucas. Eighth is McKay. Ninth is Scranton. And 10th is Smith. 11th McCartney. 12th Rager. 13th Ott. 14th is the 33 of Smith. Then the 29 of Smith. And 7 of Cawley get together down in turn 1. Cawley able to keep rolling though. White flag waving, final circuit for car number 69, Donnie Nash. Down into the corner, some more contact made between a couple of competitors mid-pack. Off of turn number 4 it will be the Bob Suzuki Hotspot Tavern, Siegels Automotive Paint 69 of Donnie Nash. Smith, Dennis, Robinson, Rufner, McManus, Lucas, McKay, Scranton, Smith, Rager, McCartney, Ott, Smith, Cawley, Whitnall, Rector, Rogers, the 00 of Pemberton, the 2 car of McElfresh, and the 35 of McNutt. And keep your eye on the 12 of Luke.
him on. Turn that switch on. Turn this switch on, please. Thank you. F9.
As you race fans are leaving the Columbus Motor Speedway this afternoon, on behalf of the
Enter.
Knuckles family here at Columbus Motor Speedway and Chris Talati in the Main Event Racing Series, a big thank you for coming out to Main Event 21, presented by Carter Lumber.
Letter A.
Hopefully enjoyed yourself this weekend. Had a good time last night as well as this afternoon.
Hold on a second.
Another new winner into the Super Late Model record books.
Okay, escape.
As victorious today was Steve Needles from Berrien Springs, Michigan. We'll get a word with the winner of our compact race, Donnie Nash. Flag to flag, 26, make it 28 cars, somewhere in the neighborhood, and going caution-free for 25 circuits, as these compact guys can get it done.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
Remember some of the great racing action. Support your local racetracks coming up over the next few weeks. Next weekend, Midvale Speedway on Saturday night, their season ender, all the divisions, plus School Bus Demolition Derby and a Figure 8 race, as well as Legends. There he is, your winner, Donnie Nash, victorious in car number 69, Main Event 21 weekend. Well, congratulations. He made the top 10 yesterday. That was the first goal. With almost 50 cars, it's just a big goal to get into the top 10 to start up front.
Yeah, there's a lot of good cars in this division, a lot of good drivers. Yeah, we got lucky. We spent a lot of time working on a car this week. I think we replaced 3 different parts just to keep it on the track. I got to thank my sponsors, Bob Suzuki West, Hotspot Tavern, and Segal's Automotive Paints. I'd also like to thank Chase and Racing Photos for all the great photos they take out here. And I'd also like to thank my crew, Mark and Stevie. Thanks.
Your winner again, Main Event 21, compact portion of the weekend. Car number 69, Donnie Nash. Again, thanks for coming out to Columbus Motor Speedway. Drivers and teams, remember to turn your transponders in before leaving. Racing at Midvale Speedway next Saturday. Of course, the Winchester 400 weekend, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, MidvaleSpeedway.com and WinchesterSpeedway.com, the 2 websites. And of course, as Jeff told you all weekend long about the Rumble coming up and the indoor show in November. Thanks again, and please remember to buckle up and drive home safely.
In addition,